morning.
Morning, Amanda, you all right?
Yes, thank you, lovely. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you. It's fairly sunny up here, up north this morning, so
Good.
pretty bright. Sorry
Brilliant.
about that, everybody. This is the first time that I have done the lovely music that Kate put together. And I was a little bit techie, what's the word? Rough around the edges with the text this morning.
You were fine. No, you were fine.
We'll get there next week, try and do it a bit more seamlessly rather than everybody see my Facebook page before they saw the little video. But I was bopping away to our morning music there. So this morning then, we're talking about proactivity, aren't we?
We are. And
so the lovely Kate has got a course coming up in November, shameless plug, 2nd to 6th of November, called the A to Z of Proactivity. And we thought it might be fun for this week and next week if we chose our favourite 2 letters from the A to Z and had a wee chat about them. So I decided to go first, so actually they're all so good, it was really difficult to choose. And I know one of the letters I really like, but I know it's one of your biggest bugbears, so I've left you with the phone one. Always phone people, so we'll talk about that next week. But the couple that I would like to talk about, and I think it's probably because I have such a big a background and love of reactive sales, because I helped set up the cluster sales offices for Marriott. It's kind of a bit of a passion of mine. So the letters that I've chosen are, the first one is V, value industry colleagues and collaborate with them, which obviously as Selling Savvy, we're proper into our collaboration as well, aren't we? And then the next one is work with your reactive team, so it's W. So V then, value industry colleagues and collaborate with them. I really chose this one because this has just been so true for us, hasn't it, over the last few months? And it's just so poignant. And I think more and more people are working together and collaborating more. We're all, the industry's like really pulling together, aren't they, and really helping each other, rather than it being sort of every man for himself, maybe like it used to be. It's much more kind of how can we work together, how can we help each other, how can we overcome these obstacles that we are facing that keep changing every week. So for me, this is such a kind of like key topic.
It's very topical at the moment. Well, it's a very good subject to look at the moment because of the industry and how we're all having to combine and like you say, collaborate and actually really reassess who your partners are and how you can work with them. So
no, definitely. And obviously this is what we've done as Selling Savvy, isn't it? So obviously Kate founded Selling Savvy, and then over lockdown we all met, well, virtually met, and we decided, you know, that we've got all these skills and we've got the same passions and everything, and we've collaborated, and now we're all working together under Selling Savvy. So it's exactly what we've done, and it's what I've done with my other business, my people by people side. You know, I've got lots of examples of people that I have collaborated with, not just recently, but over the years, to be honest. And I'm a great believer of sitting down with your competitors as well, and seeing, you know, how you can help each other out. I think lots of people, I think, are wrong when they think that they shouldn't sort of get to know them and sit down with them. For me, it's worked really well. I have worked with other consultants who perhaps have had slightly different skill sets to me, and they've brought me in to do parts of things, even though I'm a competitor to them, and they've done the other bits and pieces. So that's worked really, really well for my consultancy social media side of things.
And I also, it's about providing a solution, and it's, don't you think though, you know, your client, even if you can't deliver what what your client's requirements are, but you're providing a solution or a potential other answer or consultant or whatever it may be who can, you're not turning around to your client and saying sorry or can't help there. it's not what I do. So
Yeah.
you'll have to go find someone else or whatever it may be. And I think that probably would stand you in good stead for future business, because they won't be thinking, oh well, I won't approach Becky again because she's just a complete blank no and can't help.
How did you know, Amanda?
No.
No, you're completely right. And yeah, from a venues perspective, you are totally right. And at the moment, there are things, aren't there, that certain venues can do and certain venues can't do, because of sort of the COVID measures, etc. So yeah, I mean, a client is going to remember you, aren't they, if they were that magnanimous that they actually said, well, you know, we can't help you on this occasion, but you know, we have got a competitor that can. I mean, that would impress me if I was a client.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they wanted to help me so much that they were even willing to, you know, send me or partly send me to a competitor. It would make me remember them for future business, most definitely.
Definitely.
And I think there are quite a lot of collaborations between venues as well, aren't there? I know in Leeds we've got the Leeds Hoteliers Association, and they get together to market, you know, to sort of stronger together, you know, to market the sort of local hotel business and Leeds as a whole. I'm sure there probably is as well where you are.
Yeah, there is in Oxfordshire. We're very about certainly collaborating, and it's you know, it's about bringing business to the area and not having that business go elsewhere. So you know, it can be from hotels to the transport links, the attractions, the whole lot. You know, where you want it to be retained in your area, so that the area ultimately benefits from that piece of business or whatever it may be. It's all about singing from the same hymn sheet, isn't it? And having that, you know, you're not being greedy, not saying, oh, it's mine, and I don't, this inquiry is mine, and or I can't do it, but someone else can do it, or whatever it may be.
Well, I guess it goes back to the consultative selling, doesn't it? It's making sure that you can meet the needs of the client, and you're not just trying to force them to come to you, even though it's not the right fit for you. I was going to say something else then, but it's kind of gone out of my head. Sorry. Oh yes, I know. So there's been quite a lot of collaboration as well, obviously with the virtual and hybrid events, hasn't there? So we've probably, as an industry, never worked so closely with companies that offer the virtual side of events, and there's lots of hotels and conference venues that have got together and partnered with virtual events businesses in order to be able to provide the hybrid options. And that's great, because you then got both of those expertise running together that the client can see, and often technology, as we've seen this morning with me, is a bit of a well, it's a bit scary, isn't it, for clients sometimes? So if they've got somebody running the show for them, then it helps them to feel confident as well.
Yeah, it does help for them. I know in the past I've done some. So when I was doing agent fan trips, for example, I would incorporate various hotels, various attractions, a team building company, a local winery, a local gin distillery, all of that, because again, it's collaborating with your partners, it's collaborating with your competitors, because what you want to do is showcase what your area or venue or whatever it may be can offer, and it just works really well. I think it just shows you're mature.
Well, yeah, it does really, doesn't it? It is a little bit immature if you're not willing to help the client just because you don't want your competitor to get the business. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I work with, it's also maybe looking at other people that have got the same target market as you. So I don't know if I mentioned, but I, again, for my people by people side of the business, I work quite closely with a couple of consultants, and their job is to open and launch hospitality businesses. So obviously at certain points, those hospitality businesses need social media. So they recommend me and vice versa. So it's also going out there and finding what mutual contacts and connections you can make with people that may have the same target market as you, which I guess is similar to what the girls are talking about on the prospecting challenge this week. That's something that, you know, you can look at in order to find new business as well. So there's lots of things you can do and lots of benefits for collaborating, that's for sure. Anything else that is there anything you do at the hotel that you work with at the moment, Amanda, that's
we've
collaborating?
I think going forward, because it's no longer the hotel offering isn't just about a bed and breakfast or a dinner bed and breakfast. My belief now is going forward that you've got to provide a package that offers something completely different, that's not just out of the norm. So I know one of my clients, what we've decided to do is offer packages incorporating, when we were allowed, of course, gin tasting sort of visits to a local distillery. Part of that dinner bed and breakfast is that they then go and visit and have a tour of a local gin, and that again is sort of really stands out because there's the partnership with the gin company. It's again a family run business. One of my clients is a family run hotel, and so it's all that collaboration, and they'll market it and then market the hotel and vice versa. And I just think it's thinking outside those boxes and thinking, right, who can we collaborate with? Can it be a visitor attraction? Can it be you know, a nice winery, gin distillery, whatever's local to you? What can we do to work in partnership? And I think again, that just the marketing message is then double or triple, or depending on how many collaborations and partnerships you have, and it gets out there, and you're promoting not only your venue or hotel or whatever, but you're promoting the area as well, which
I think that's so important at the moment, isn't it? And one of the messages that I'm getting across with my clients at the moment is, you know, asking people to support local, to support independence. And I think to make sure basically that we keep the hospitality, tourism and events industry alive wherever we can. So I think what you've said is just so important. And there are quite a lot of things that people still can do in the local area. You know, we're coming up to half term, and I know there's quite a lot of visitor attractions around us that are doing things for the kids that are safe and outdoors and that kind of thing. And I know we're kind of going off tangent a little bit here, as we usually do.
As we do.
But yeah, I mean, if we can help, if venues can help them, they will hopefully help you back, and we can all kind of get through this together, basically.
No, you're absolutely right. So I do a little bit of work for a local pub, and it's interesting. They approached all of the local Airbnbs and sort of said to them, you know, is there any chance you can promote us? We're open. We're able to do X, Y, Z in terms of meals, and the amount of business that they have received from those visitors of the Airbnb. I mean, that's just like a small example, but it's again, it's that collaboration and the dual marketing of it. Really, and it's just literally a call. Look, can we work together?
And sometimes people are just afraid to ask, aren't they? I mean, I've had similar with restaurant clients that have just literally got in touch or got people in that have had bed and breakfast in the local area, and just say, if you come in and have a good meal, would you please just recommend us to people that stay with you? And they get, you know, good business as well that way. Like you say, it's literally a phone call or maybe a meal or a visit or something, which doesn't cost you an awful lot of money to get that word of mouth out there. No. So there's lots and lots of things you can do to collaborate. I was just going to say good morning to Fem and Kate, and we have got other people on.
We got to mention a special.
Oh yeah, we have got a special.
We've got a special guest this morning.
Yes, it's Mummy Leach. It's my mum. So hi, Mum. Morning.
Hello.
We can't see you in your dressing gown. You all right?
She's going to love you for saying that.
I know, she really will, won't she? I don't know who else we've got on. We have got other people on, but they're being very quiet this morning. They're lurking. I can see that we have got more people. So I don't know if they're just kind of like, I don't know, lurking in the background. Maybe they're
being shy on a Friday morning.
So please let us know that you're here and that you're listening properly. If you've got any opinions on anything, we always love to hear that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So
your second letter then, my dear. Go on then.
Well, yeah, so this is, like I say, this is quite close to my heart, because I did set up the Yorkshire Cluster Office for Marriott Hotels, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it and managing the team there. So obviously it was a reactive sales office that took the inquiries for the Yorkshire Marriott Hotel conference and events. So, you know, I've spent my time doing that. I spent quite a few years doing that. And then after that, I spent time being proactive as well. So I did a DOS, a Director of Sales role after that for a couple of years. So I've kind of seen both sides of the coin, and it just made me realise how important it is that they both, not just them side, sales side, but everybody works, you know, works together. And works with the reactive team, because often, I think we were talking about this the other day, sorry, I'm just moving my computer there, often the reactive sales team, they get to speak to clients on a much more regular basis than maybe the Director of Sales or the proactive sales team has the chance to, or they get to speak to the people on the ground maybe, whereas the DOS might speak to the sort of people at the next level, which obviously is just as important a relationship.
Really, yeah.
But you get to probably know that little bit more about what people need when you're speaking to them so often, don't you? So I think it's really important that
I think you're absolutely right, because when you think about it, they are the DOS or sales director, whatever. They're the eyes and ears.
They are, yeah. And they can pick up on things.
They're almost you know, at the forefront completely. Yeah, they'll pick up the relevance, receive. So, for example, I suppose we could say a reactive colleague might receive an inquiry from a regional manager who's looking to host an event or meeting. Now that, you know, and they will take the inquiry and be very good at it and convert it, whatever it may be. But the bigger picture of that is obviously there's the potential, because we're talking, you know, a regional person has made contact with the venue. So that in my mind will be like, well, there must be regional offices, or there's other regional people. Yeah. So who do we need to speak to? And get in front of these branch managers or regional managers or whatever. So like you say, working with your reactive team so that they remember, oh, actually I did speak to someone, let me pass that over to the Director of Sales or whoever it may be, because there might be potential for a larger or more business. Sometimes the reactive team are so busy, aren't they? They literally are just head down and get the work done and inquire at the RFPs or proposals out, and sort of not saying they're wrong, but sometimes they don't have the time to see the bigger picture. So yeah, you're right.
It's kind of like it's sitting back and drilling down, isn't it, and asking that few more questions. I know that we used to pass leads on to our DOS when I was on the reactive side, and it was very much appreciated when I was the DOS as well, to get that inside information. Yeah. But I do also think that we should use the reactive team to get more feedback in terms of, I'm very much a believer that they should be involved. Obviously I am, because I used to be part of it, but very much involved with the other things that are going on. Like, I don't feel that it should be the senior managers that, for example, that are just setting the strategies and the packages. It's so important to get the reactive teams' opinions and feedback and their input into those sides of things as well, because of the fact that they are dealing with these things on a daily basis.
They are indeed, and also, like you said, they're dealing on a daily basis, and they probably can highlight anything that probably wouldn't work with a package, or would work, or something that you've not heard, or a client's come up with a suggestion, or whatever it may be. So you're right, their opinions really do count, because they're on the shop floor, so to speak. and hearing it from the horse's mouth. So yes, it is really important to be working and involved in them.
I just wondered if we could get any more sayings into this morning. Shop floor, horse's mouth, outside the box. I've said a few as well. I just think it's great. It's like,
oh, we're so cliched, aren't we?
No, it's good. I like it. No, you are completely right. And you know, they can come up with ideas that we might not have thought, you know, the senior managers might not have thought of for their proactive sales. And then I guess there's also working with the reactive team and then the operational side of things as well. So making sure that they work really well together. Because how many times do we hear, oh yeah, we can fit 300 I know we're not doing this at the moment, but in the past, we can fit 300 theatre style in there, no problem. Operations like toddle along going, how are you going to do that, Becky? You know, you'll just do it.
And the operations director manager is like literally pulling their hair out, going, what on earth have we promised that for? Why? And so, how do you suppose that's going to happen?
Exactly. So obviously it's important that those two teams work really well together and appreciate each other's challenges, shall we say, as well.
Yeah.
I also think it's really important that that senior management make or allow reactive sales to be accountable and to have ownership for things as well. I think it's I find it really hard when a reactive sales team always feels like they've got to just check or they can't make a decision about something because maybe they are worried that they might get into some sort of trouble if they make the wrong decision. I know when I was at Marriott, they did have, well, my GM at the time had a great ethos. He said, as long as you have got a reason for making that decision, I'm never going to kind of like not tell you off, because obviously we're not at school, but I'm never going to be angry with you. It was always, if you've got like a really good, you know, you've assessed the situation, you've looked at all the angles, and that's why you made that decision, then that's great. And I thought that was a brilliant way of letting the reactive sales team to take ownership. And obviously there were going to be times when you do make the wrong decision, or it might be that it might have been better to do something else. But it's usually much more positive than it is negative when you let people do that, because it just looks so much better as well to the client, doesn't it? That they know what they're talking about and they can make that decision without having to speak to lots of different people and mess them around. So,
and also it gives that individual development, doesn't it, and confidence, and you know that you're actually giving them the autonomy to make it.
Well, they're never going to learn either, are they? If you, I mean, you know, I know it's really again cliched, but here we go. You learn from your mistakes, don't you? I'm going to have to write them all down from today. But yeah, you do learn from your mistakes, and I think if senior management can do that, I think that's a really great thing to do with your reactive sales team. If you can give them
and that's how they'll develop, isn't it? That's how they'll actually go forward and then become maybe proactive or go into the next role within the company or whatever. So and I think, you know, going back to the mistake, I think the idea is that if you are going to make the mistake, that's fair enough, and you may have sort of come up with a solution that's incorrect or whatever. Just don't make the same mistake twice.
That's very true.
Because then that's really going to really annoy people.
Very, very true.
Yeah. So it's all good stuff, isn't it?
And then I think the other things we were mentioning when we were chatting about this before the call was making sure that the weekly meetings, and I know we used to have a daily meeting. Well, there was the daily 10 at 10 it used to be. I don't know what that is. The 10 at 10.
The 10 at 10. Yeah.
The 10 at 10s are, you know, talking about celebrating wins from previous days and making sure that everybody is aware of what everybody else is doing, and you know, making sure that people are valued, and also, you know, obviously other meetings that they can have at the moment. I know that not everybody is back in at the moment, so those might be having a meeting with yourself on occasions. But you know, it's still nice to still review the positives that are happening, especially the way that things are at the moment, the positive wins, positive inquiries, positive relationships that we're building. I think that's important to celebrate those things.
definitely need to do that.
You need we need some motivation at the moment, don't we? So, and the rest, and also to let the rest of the hotel venue events sales team know just what the reactive sales team are doing and the work that they are putting in. And it might actually be at the moment that other people from other departments are being part of the reactive sales team because they're having to make up numbers, so they'll probably be getting a good insight themselves now anyway. So yeah.
And it's involving the operational team, because some people they're so busy, aren't they, on the shop. I just thinking, the breakfast team that are constantly running around because everyone arrives on a Sunday morning at 10 to 10, as they usually do, for breakfast. and it's having that, whether it's a monthly meeting with the whole team or whatever, just to say, look, we're all very appreciative of every single person's input into this business and what's happening and what we're doing, and this is the success, and this is where we're going, and these are the plans that we plan on doing going forward. And again, it's about that communication, which I just think it's key.
I think you're completely right. And at the moment, again, COVID sort of safety measure related, the reactive sales team can pass on the concerns and the questions that people that are inquiring at the moment have, and then they can pass that on to the rest of the team and hopefully implement some of the things, adapt. We talked about in the consultative selling course we did, talking about adapting your product and services. So it's taking that feedback and those questions and those issues and adapting and improving your products and services to match as well, isn't it? There's so much around it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure we could talk as per usual all day, but that is the 2 letters from the A to Z of Proactivity that stood out for me this week. And I know that next week we're going to talk about your favourite letters, Amanda, which for the life of me I can't remember what they are. I know one of them is pick up the phone. I know that.
Hang on a minute. Oh yes,
it's something. She says picking up the phone. It is something that we are both quite passionate about, but I know you are particularly.
Thank you for allowing me to discuss that next week. So I appreciate that.
We can do that on justice next week. Yeah.
Thank you. And my other one is H, have a genuine interest. So I'll be chatting away.
Not the man from Steps. H, have a genuine. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood this morning.
Oh,
so dear. if you wanted to see all of the letters A to Z of Proactivity, shameless plug time. I should have something that comes on the screen that says plug.
It just flashes.
Yeah.
Plug. Yeah.
Kate is doing another fabulous challenge. Our challenges actually are going from strength to strength, and we really appreciate everybody's support on these, because I do genuinely think that they're really good value for money. I know obviously I'm biased, but she's doing the A to Z of Proactivity, and that is the 2nd to the 6th of November. So she'll be going through all of the letters, not just her favourite letters like us, and giving you lots of tools, tips, techniques, ideas, stuff that you can implement straight away and be just genuinely really proactive, which I know at the moment I think is quite difficult because we're all being very reactive because things keep changing. So this will help you kind of stay focused and be proactive and a bit more strategic. So.
And the challenges that, like you said, they are amazing. They're 45 minutes each day, and you do get lots of content, lots of information, and you get an action plan that you have to do, and it's all via Facebook. So you have to then inform your colleagues of what you've done. So you take accountability.
I was going to say that's the key, isn't it? You take the accountability. You feel like, oh, I've got to do this today, so you do it instead of putting it at the bottom of your to-do list.
So really, it's a really good challenge, as all of our challenges are. Again, shameless plug. And
but you can tell that we're passionate about what we do, and we do love it and do genuinely believe in it, so that's good.
That's it. So I think Kate's very kindly put the link on the comments, so if you are interested, let us know, or just say yes or whatever. And we'd be delighted to have you on board.
And
that's
be delighted.
2nd to the 6th of November. And I just to finish off, thank you so much, Becky, for your lovely input this morning on your 2 letters.
Thank you, and thank you for your help. It's always lovely to see you on a Friday morning. You brighten up my week.
Oh, well, you brighten my whole week up as well. So then
we just like mutual love now, isn't it? Yeah. So have a lovely weekend, everybody. And Veronica just put, it was great today. Thank you. You are very welcome, Veronica.
Thanks, Veronica. Thank you for
coming along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Bye.
Bye.